Hello, my name is Jonathan Parker. I'll be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. Welcome to American National Government. All right, we're going to try to get this out of the way real quick. I know it's everybody's favorite thing to do, but we're just going to go over the syllabus as quickly as humanly possible so we can check that box and you all know the rules going forward. This class, importantly, it lasts until October 9th. All right, so we're done on October 9th. That's the very last day. I've got the length of ICC's fall break just about to get the grades in, and then I'm on to the second 8 weeks where I have to do this class again. So this is like the deadline. All right, I know sometimes we can get a little behind on our work, at least in past experience. So just keep that in mind. That's the end date where everything has to be in. All right, contact information. Here's my email. Make sure you get it right. It's spelled correctly there. My name's spelled correctly there. The problem I run into is mainly that they'll add an H in my name or take out the A and put an O. I cannot respond to emails I don't get. I do respond to emails. I just can't get them if they're sent to the wrong address. All right, office hours. I am entirely virtual. If you need help, please reach out. If it's something we can't resolve by email, I will certainly meet with you by Zoom, Teams. I'm even willing to drive to campus. I'm invested in your success, and however we can make that happen, I'm willing to play ball. All right. But email, if you have questions, email is the quickest and best way to get in touch with me. I will say this semester I have 7 classes at 3 colleges, and I'm taking a graduate seminar on top of that. So time is a little bit at a premium, but I'm normally pretty responsive and things get handled pretty quickly. All right, so this is an online anytime class. You can read the course description on your own. General information, 1 semester, in this case meaning 8 weeks until October 9th. I'll keep hammering that date in because there's always somebody, like in my summer class, 2 days after the semester ended and grades were submitted, hey, can I go back and do that work? Not how it works. 8-week class. All right. So course objectives you can read on your own. Materials of instruction. Great news, you have a free textbook. Bad news, I'm going to make you read most of it. So here it is. I mean, this isn't a hyperlink, so I mean, you've got to control and click, and if that doesn't work, you can certainly, just copy and paste the web address. It's America, the User's Manual, 4th edition. What I would do if I were you is just download a PDF copy so you don't have to keep coming back to this. The site is safe, I promise you that. All right, so download PDF. If you want to, you can even order a paperback copy. I know I do much better with books I can actually thumb through. But that is our book. So I, again, download the PDF. That's the easiest way to go. The textbook's free to use. You don't need to purchase a copy or a passcode. I remember the days where we tried books that you needed passcodes to get into. I am so glad we are in the era of the open educational resource. Print the book, print the chapter. Don't print it at all, however you want to go about it. So recommended reading. We will read some of these things, not all of these things, but I have all of them up here just because they're important documents in our history, and you need to, I think, put your eyes on them. If we don't do it in class, you certainly, could spend your time worse than reading something like this. I mean, and again, the URL, just click. All right, course policies. Email is the quickest and most effective way to get in touch with me. Please utilize the email address listed at the top of page 1 of the syllabus and spell the name correctly so I can actually respond. The name is also spelled correctly here, right? So I'll do my utmost to respond to all emails within 24 hours. Again, 7 classes and a graduate seminar. So please, if it's 24 hours and 1 minute, don't come for my head. I am absolutely not opposed and encourage students, if they don't think I'm answering quickly enough, to spam the inbox. I want to answer. I want to help. Sometimes things just get buried. So if 24 hours elapses and you don't hear from me, email me again. Assignment submissions, everything will be submitted via Canvas. No Google Doc submissions will be graded. So that means if something is due, right, and you'll have things to turn in, like critical thinking questions. So there's the instructions. All right, you go to submit it. What I'm wanting you to do is actually save a Word document and upload it, or save it as a PDF and upload it. Because when you just paste in a Google Doc link, it does nothing, and 9 times out of 10, you haven't given me editing permission. So if it's Google Doc, I'm not grading it. That's a hard and fast rule. It's not going to be graded. Academic citation etiquette. Whenever you turn in a written assignment, you're required to cite your source. If you use a direct quote from a book, article, website, you paraphrase a chunk of text from the book, article, website, or you present a theory, argument, opinion that does not belong to you. It is okay. It is, in fact, it is appreciated to acknowledge other people's ideas, theories, or arguments. It takes time for all of us to develop our own original ideas. So providing correct citations allow you to show that you are borrowing from existing sources to develop your own answer. And this is perfectly fine. As I said, I'm pursuing a graduate degree right now myself. I don't know everything there is to know. I look towards people who are well established in the field, who have published, who have written books, articles, and translate their ideas into what I'm doing. But you always give credit where credit is due, because if you don't, you've plagiarized, and that's one academic sin that is very hard to come back from. We will use MLA 9. I say that because that is the format that has gotten me the least complaints from students. If you are in love with APA or Chicago or some other format, I don't care, just as long as you stay consistent, all right, and you're not like switching from MLA to APA to Chicago within an assignment. It doesn't bother me what you use. Here's a citation generator, easybib.com. It's one of 100,000 citation generators. It's just the one that I use. So inline citations are expected in any writing assignments that you turn in where you have used outside sources. If you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. I am never, ever, ever going to take points off for you citing something to death. All right? I would rather it be way oversighted than not cited enough. And I think probably most teachers would agree with that. All right. So Wikipedia, this is a battle I fight every semester and will continue to fight every semester. It is not an academic resource. It is not an academic resource. It is not an academic resource. Do not cite Wikipedia in any work that you do this semester. It will negatively impact your grade. probably to the tune of half a letter grade. It depends on how egregious the offense is. I've varied with that. Academic misconduct, plagiarism, page 24 of the Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. There are multiple forms of academic misconduct listed there. To sum it up, if you choose to engage in academic misconduct or plagiarize, the handbook says this: based on the severity of the offense, the instructor may recommend failure for an assignment or failure for the course. Multiple instances of academic misconduct could include sanctions up to dismissal from the college. And this has been an issue every semester I've taught here, every single semester. The first time I catch you plagiarizing, I'll give you a 0 for whatever assignment you've plagiarized without the opportunity to redo it. Whether that assignment is 1 point or 1,000 points, it doesn't matter. It's a 0. Then the next time, if there is a next time, which, I've never gotten to strike 2, you're getting failed for the course. Please do not test me on that because you will lose. I'm not making any exceptions to that. So strike 1, you get a 0, no opportunity to make up those points. Strike 2, you fail the course. AI. The blanket rule is no AI. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you are caught copying or obtaining information from another student, contracting for original work with a third party, yes, that still happens, and generating or revising assignments with the aid of artificial intelligence tools that were not expressly authorized by the instructor, that's bad. Don't do that. All right, and to spell this out plainly, the use of AI is strictly prohibited under all circumstances in this course. I am never going to okay the use of artificial intelligence. Just don't do it. I know what it sounds like. AI is getting better, but it is not yet that good where it can make, I know by this point in my career what a community college student sounds like on paper, generally speaking, right? If I get a paper, and I've been proven wrong a handful of times in my career, if I get a paper and it sounds like, a PhD wrote it, or, if it's just one big run-on sentence, and there are no citations at all, there are very obvious giveaways because students will just plug a prompt into AI and submit the prompt without reading it at all. So, I'm giving you hints here, but don't use AI. Just don't do it. Late submission, as a rule, I do not accept late work. However, circumstances sometimes do occur that might prevent you from turning something in on time. I understand that. If a circumstance like an illness or death in the family occurs, please make sure you talk to me and make sure that you have proof that what you said happened did in fact happen. I hate to do that. I feel like a complete jerk for saying that in a syllabus, but I have been lied to so many times about people's grandmas. I need to see a program from the funeral home as proof. So if you come to me with an excuse like I went to a Taylor Swift concert last night, I had somebody say Chris Brown, or I had other homework to do, you will not be turning in anything at all. Again, no AI. AI, don't do it. You must create your own original work to be submitted for a grade. If you choose to use AI, failure of assignment and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator with a first offense, and failure in course and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator for a second offense. All right. I think I've hammered that into your heads enough. Standard 10-point grading scale, methods of presentation. There will be videos. There will be PowerPoint slides. There will be discussion posts. It's a pretty standard online course. All right. Methods of assessment of student learning. All right. There will be 2 tests. There will be a final exam. There will be classwork and homework, and the classwork and homework is varied, so that's about as specific as I can get with it. It's nothing you can't handle. I haven't changed this course up in a little bit, so I mean, it's doable. Evaluation of student achievement. You will have at least one essay, most likely essay questions on a test, and 3 unit exams. One of the other tests that is not the final may be an essay test. I'll give you a hint right now, there won't be an essay test. You will have classwork and homework as assigned. These assignments will always involve some form of writing. That's true. All right, news resources. When I put this list together, these were actually all kind of sort of center. I mean, Illinois policy and the time since has drifted farther to the right. BBC is actually pretty center. I've found, and I don't know if you'd agree or not, but international outlets often cover events in this country with a lot less bias than our own organizations do. But any of these sites, I mean, they're good at helping you keep up with American and Illinois politics. So college services, accommodations, you really don't need to send me accommodations unless you're really dying to. For purposes of tests and anything that's timed, I've just taken the point of view in my class that everybody has accommodations, so you all get time and a half to take tests. So, I mean, if there's something else, let me know. But if it's just a time thing, I give you an obscene amount, like hours. I give a lot of time to take a test. We offer counseling. There's the technology help desk. Please go to them and not me. It's not that I don't want to help you. I just can't. If you tell me, about some problem with your MacBook, this has happened, and ask me for advice on like where to find a replacement part, I have no idea. All right. I am here to answer questions and to teach you the course. That sort of stuff, you're on your own. I mean, if you get locked out of your student account, this has happened too, I can't get you back in. You need to call these folks at the technology help desk. They're pretty good. They'll set you straight. Career services, make academic success a habit. The academic support team we have is second to none. I highly recommend them, not just for this class, but for any class. They are really, truly great subject matter experts. I've students who have gone to them for my classes. They've always come out with really great products. Okay, course withdrawal. It's your responsibility to drop or withdraw from a course, not mine. All right. If you feel like this class is going to be too much for you, all right, do not send me an email, Mr. Parker, I need to withdraw from this course. That's your choice. That's your responsibility. All right, you need to contact your academic advisor. You need to handle that yourself, not me. So students who drop a class prior to the refund date will be refunded the cost of the course, and it will not appear on their transcript. This is the way to go. All right, if you can make up your mind early, make up your mind early. Transfer institutions, a W on the transcript isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but if you have like bunches and bunches of them, then yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Students may withdraw from a course and receive a W on their transcript through the withdrawal date. Students who withdraw from a course are responsible for the full tuition and fee for that course. It is strongly encouraged that the student meets with an advisor before dropping a course, as a reduction in their credit hours could affect financial aid. And that is something that we are partly responsible for, because I have to go in twice in the semester and tell the college who is participating in this class and who, towards the end, week 5-ish, 6-ish, who is still participating in the class, and that affects financial aid dispersal. So students who miss several classes or assignments without contacting the instructor may be administratively withdrawn from the course due to non-activity. That's what they're talking about. If you get to date X and you haven't logged into the class, I'm going to look at Canvas. Canvas tells me when you've logged in, what assignments you've completed, all of that. And if you've never, say, logged into the class, or you've logged in and just looked at a page, I can see what you look at too. I drop you. I mean, that's not participation. To view specific refund and withdrawal dates, students can log into their MyICC account and check their class schedule. Please do that. They're important dates to know. All right, Title IX, Illinois Central College, I have to read this one verbatim, is dedicated to maintaining a safe and healthy educational and employment environment that is free from actual or perceived discrimination, sexual harassment, and sexual misconduct on the basis of sex, which includes sexual orientation or gender-related identity under the Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972, 20 U.S.C. 1681. If you believe you have experienced or witnessed someone that has experienced misconduct, please contact our Title IX Civil Rights Equity ADA Coordinator at title9@icc.edu. Okay, so you need to, I should say something about this too. Illinois Central College is committed to creating a community that affirms and welcomes persons from diverse backgrounds and experiences and supports the realization of their human potential. We recognize that there are differences among groups of people and individuals based on ethnicity, race, socioeconomic status, gender, exceptionalities, language, religion, sexual orientation, and geographical areas. All persons are encouraged to respect the individual differences of others. No student is permitted to create a threatening, intimidating, or harassing environment in this course. Courses will be conducted in a safe and tolerant environment, and any person who distracts from that environment will be instructed to leave without the ability to make up coursework. I've never had to do it. I've heard horror stories from other political science instructors and other political science classes. It's never happened with me where it's a discussion or something has gotten out of hand. But if it does, I mean, I do and will crack down. A word about the discussions. I look at them, I read them. I'm not in them as a rule unless something is needing correction fast. I've found that students tend to parrot my opinion or whatever I say, back at me. And I don't really like that. I want you to think for yourselves. So I keep my opinions to myself. Commit to integrity. As a student in this course and at this college, you're expected to maintain high degrees of professionalism, commitment to active learning, and participation in this class, and integrity in your behavior in and out of the classroom. This means you will conduct yourself as though you are serious about your education and learning. I hope you are. To work with others in professional environments, both on-site and online. Review the ICC Student Code of Conduct if you have questions. All right, controversial issues and civility. For reading and writing assignments as well as discussion, be prepared possibly to confront historical events, concepts, and beliefs which you may find controversial, disturbing, and potentially offensive. Describing, analyzing, and understanding such things does not mean we approve of them. In case of disagreement, maintain an attitude of civility and mutual respect. I've never had a problem with this. I don't expect to start now. All right. We all have a right to our own opinions, as well as mutual obligation to refrain from insults or hate speech that would impinge on others' rights to a safe, shared learning environment free of intimidation or harassment. Disagreements and debates are an essential part of higher education. The key is to challenge ideas intellectually rather than attacking people personally. Attendance policy. Log into class as often as you can. All right. Attendance is defined as completing homework assignments, taking quizzes and tests, as well as logging onto Canvas. And again, I've had some trouble. Well, I've logged into Canvas. I can see when you've logged into Canvas, what you've done, where you've gone. You're going to lose that argument if you try to make it with me. All right. Attendance is also kept for reporting purposes from when the college asks me to mark who the never attenders, i.e., the people who didn't log in on day one, and non-attenders, the people who stopped participating, are. When it comes time for me to determine attendance, I'll look at your activity on Canvas to see when the last time you logged in was and determine what you have turned in on Canvas. You cannot skip or stop logging onto Canvas and not turn in your work and expect to stay in and succeed in this course. There are a lot of negatives there. Log in, do your work, succeed in the course. All right. I've had to drop students in the past and do not want to have to repeat the practice. Log into class. So the registrar's office helpfully prepared some language. Examples of academic activity include submitting an assignment, taking an exam, attending a study group, initiating contact with me to ask questions about the course. Examples of academic activity do not include logging into our Canvas page without doing anything, talking about the class with a friend, going to counseling, personal or academic. All right, so you're going to need access to a computer, hopefully, to take an online class. You'll need to be able to log into Canvas, send emails with attachments, download and install required software. I don't require you to download anything special, so for other classes maybe. Use video conferencing tools like Teams, Zoom, and Google Meet. And again, if we need to do that for a meeting, if you need me for office hours, or to schedule an appointment, in other words, we can certainly work out whether Teams, Zoom. Honestly, I would have to learn how to do Google Meet myself, but we could figure that out too, if that's the way you want to go. No Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, be proficient with Google Suite products, and be able to log in using Google credentials, which the school supplies you with a Google account. Use online search tools, cite information sources using APA or MLA. Time commitment. This course has been designed to scaffold student learning and allow you the opportunity to build knowledge of our American national government and political system. So you are expected to work through the modules on time. There are a total of 8 modules. I give you 2 weeks, so there's weeks 1 and 2. August 17th to August 30th, you'll have weeks 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you'll have, I think I just said you'll have 8 modules. This is an 8-week class. You'll have 4 modules. All right. 7 to 9 hours a week. All right. I do not advise taking a test and then forgetting about the material. This is highlighted for a reason. I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. It's the bedrock of the system. If there wasn't federalism, the country as we know it would not exist, quite literally. So you will see that topic, especially on test 1, on test 2, on the final. I will also obviously ask you questions about who the president is, who the vice president is, who the Speaker of the House is. I know we're having elections coming up, but, the Speaker of the House, for example, is still right now Mike Johnson and will be through the end of our class. So keep your notes and study. We'll see test questions from the first test on the final. I'm not going to chase you down to make sure you're keeping up with your coursework. If you have to take some time away, let me know and ask me, what, if anything, you need to make up. Again, we go back to the beginning here. If you need to take some time away and you need to ask, you get back to me on October 10th, it's too late. The course is done. If you find you have trouble keeping up with assignments or other aspects of the course, make sure you let me know as early as possible. As you'll find, building rapport and effective relationships are key to becoming an effective professional. And this, you know, you'll find out if you're not already in the professional world. You know, you're more inclined to do a favor for somebody you know, for somebody you respect, than somebody who sits quietly and you've never heard of. It's just the way of the world. So getting to know your professors, getting to know your employers, it's important. So make sure you are proactive in informing me when difficulties arise during the semester so that I can help you find a solution. And I hope this goes without saying, but we need to say it. You need a reliable internet access point, and an ICC email account in order to complete this course. All of you automatically have an ICC email account, and you must use that email account for this course. And the takeaway here, keep an open line of communication with me. You will be fine. You will learn something from this class. You may even enjoy yourself. So weeks 1 and 2, here's the outline. All assignments posted in this module are due on or before Sunday, August 30th at 11:59. And again, in the interest of, just basic humanity, I give you 2 weeks per module, just so you can, take it a little easier and not be on high alert when it comes to my class. I'm aware, people at this institution who sign up for an online class tend to sign up for 5, and it's a lot. So you have a little bit of a grace period I've built in for you. That being said, don't abuse it. All right. So you'll have the assignments. There's a weeks 1 and 2. There's always going to be an overview page where everything you need to do will be listed. It'll be highlighted, right? I also will always have an announcement about what needs to be done. Weeks 1 and 2, you can already see if you are on the course page, there will always be also an instructional video, which is basically like this, what you're listening to now, except it's me going through the module for that 2-week period. So you'll never have the excuse that you don't know what's going on, because I've put it in 3 places. All right. So weeks 3 and 4, test 1, everything, all the dates. I mean, you'll see it on Canvas, but everything, like when the tests open, close, assignment due dates, all of it is here. All right. So we'll get through the presidency of the Supreme Court, Congress, and Unit 6. We get into the Bill of Rights. Then we end with domestic, foreign policy, and amendments 4 through 10. The final exam will open on Monday, October 5th, and will close on Friday, October 9th. And that exam will cover material from Unit 6 to 8, as well as basic questions about our 3 branches of government. And the date for the final may change. I don't think it will, but it may, just depending on how a couple things fall into line. So, like test 1, you'll be asked about federalism. Test 2 comes along, expect to be asked about federalism again. I have a tendency, I'll give you another little hack, when I re-ask questions, they tend to be asked in the same way they were on the previous exam, and the answers tend to be given in the same order. Just a heads up. So, important dates. Okay, fall semester begins. Our first day off, Labor Day, Friday, October 9th. The class ends, and then we have our fall semester break. Now, I don't anticipate on changing any course policies, but there have been instances where I've needed to. It's always been to your benefit. I've removed something, I've never added things in. So hopefully you can rest a little easier knowing that. Okay, so that was the syllabus. You will see me again in the instructional video, and just a heads up, there is a syllabus check. It should be very easy points, right? Have the document open right next to you as you take the check. All right. Reach out with any questions. I'm looking forward to a great 8 weeks.